Hi people, and today I'm going to talk about 3 things that has really been annoying me, pecking my head recently that I could make individual videos on, but since I don't have a lot of time this week compared to what I would do usually, I have to condense them all into one video, so I won't be able to say everything that I want to say about them, and I might miss out a few key details and a few points that I might want to make, so just bear in mind it's going to be very bare bones. And we'll start off with the light story, which is barely a few minutes old, if not an hour. It turns out that Shaun King of Black Lives Matter fame is joining the Young Turks. Now this is absolutely hilarious, and he's going to be joining in 2017, which means 2017 is now officially the year of the memes. Shaun King, yes, for those of you who don't know who Shaun King is part of the Black Lives Matter hierarchy. He's way up there, and he's a guy who's been outed as a white man pretending to be black. Now here's a picture of him. Now as you can see, he's clearly trying his hardest to look like he's some kind of mixed race guy, because that's what he's saying, like, oh yeah, my mum's white, my dad's black, but he could never show us exactly who his dad was. And then it turned out, after some journalists went digging, that he's actually white and he's pretending. He was part of 2 big stories of people pretending to be black to further their own careers in politics. So we had him, and we also had Rachel Dolezal, who for some reason the latter created this whole stupid thing about, can you be trans ethnicity, which you can't because that's not the same as sex. But what's so hilarious about this is that we get to see TYT not only sink further into the hole that they've dug themselves, but we get to watch Cenk, Anna and co just pretend that this guy is black, because they know he's not. Everybody knows he isn't at this point. We've seen who his parents are. We've seen the lies that he likes to spew. And it's going to be hilarious to see that guy sit there and pretend to be the token black guy when he's not, and talk about things that he doesn't understand, and he gets to be the voice of people of colour on that panel even though he isn't one at all. I don't know about you people, but I think this is an inspired choice. He isn't the only person that they've picked, but I think this is hands down the greatest thing that the Young Turks have ever done for us. Thank you, Cenk. Thank you. Now the next story is the Drexel University case, and I think that's very interesting. And then in one tweet, which I think a lot of people think he was being serious about, he said all he wanted for Christmas was white genocide, which is quite clearly a joke because he's referencing Mariah Carey. I don't understand how that could be construed in any way as serious as people say it is. But then I guess because he's a professor, I guess because that's what a lot of people have probably said to some degree, though not the genocide thing, but advocating for deaths of certain ethnicities and how bad these ethnicities are, that people would think that he's being serious. But I don't know. I look at pictures of him, I look at the tweets, and I just think, no way. But then another tweet comes out and he says, yeah, see the Haitian Revolution? I'm only paraphrasing. You'll be seeing the screenshots anyway. You see the Haitian Revolution when they massacred the white people who ran the island? Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a swell idea. We should do that. Now that second tweet, I immediately thought, right, this guy's trolling. I mean, the first one was pretty trolly, even though it was true. But this one, hands down, shows that he's trolling. Now, why do I think he's trolling? Well, for starters, the Haitian Revolution is something that anti-SJWs would show to SJWs to show that, look, here are white people getting massacred. These are white people being the victim of a massacre. I know that the Haitian Revolution was a good thing in and of itself, that the slaves freed themselves from the oppression of the French Empire, or rather the Republic at that time, and they gained their freedom. But the downside to it was that innocent lives were lost. People who had nothing to do with slavery, especially children. They even killed white children. And here he is saying that that's a good idea, and I personally just don't believe he believes that. I don't think he is someone like Steve Shimes who would think that is a good idea, because he uses such a strange case to make his point, because that would be a point in history that we would use to show, look, here's an example of white people getting killed, some of them innocent, some of them not so innocent. I don't know, I feel like that the Haitian Revolution and what happened after the Haitian Revolution, because there was further attacks and oppression against white people after that, that was something that anti-SJWs would use, right? But I don't know, I think he was trolling. And then at one point he said that he wasn't alt-left, he was just a commie. And again, I think that's gotta be a troll, because how does he know what the alt-left is? He must be someone either on our side trolling, or he is an SJW, and he's just trying to work up the alt-right and white nationalist for a laugh. But what I do like is that the university is being very professional, saying we'll investigate this, we don't agree with what he had to say, and don't panic, we'll get to the bottom of this. So props to Drexel University, you're doing a good job. I just think he's trolling, because I would say something similar to troll the alt-right, because it's funny and they always take the bait. It would be like me going to feminists and saying, I don't know, rape culture is good or something, you know? It's something so inflammatory that they just have to react, right? Because they don't have a sense of humour. So I guess we're returning to more of a lighter vein, because Richard Hammond of the Grand Tour and Top Gear fame has come under fire for telling a gay joke during the Grand Tour's recent episode. Now, they were talking about cars. I forgot which car it was. I've not seen the full episode, but I saw this excerpt where Jeremy Clarkson says, you know, you wouldn't want to eat a Magnum ice cream with white leather seats now, would you, to Hammond? So I assume they're talking about some kind of car that Clarkson doesn't like, or he knows that Hammond likes, and is just dissing him. It's the usual thing, that's their thing, that's what happens. And then Hammond tries to make a joke to Clarkson really about, well, you know, I don't eat ice cream because that's not something straight people do. Now, obviously, it was a failed joke. Even Clarkson and May were like, is that really the best you could come up with? And everybody in the studio audience knew he was joking. I bet there were gay people there laughing like, oh, Hammond, that's such a bad joke. And yet, of course, he riled up the Twitterverse and the internet because the social justice warriors were just waiting to pounce on something to get outraged over. Yeah, a crap joke where he's trying to get back at Jeremy Clarkson for dissing his car, but that apparently to you guys is making homophobia and prejudice against the LGBT community somehow okay, even though it was quite clearly a joke, and a failed joke at that. There are other things happening right now in the world to LGBT people that you could be outraged about, but instead you're going to be outraged over Richard Hammond, who, as we know through his history with Top Gear, all three of them make jokes about literally everybody. Nobody is above humour. That's what they do. And you're getting outraged over that. Really? I don't know, it's just a non-issue for me. Much like the other story before, like obvious case of trolling, people getting outraged over nothing. Although in the second case, he was a professor and was probably being very unprofessional and probably should have been watching what he was saying on Twitter. Anyway people, that's the end of the video. Like, share and subscribe. One like, you get your very own Shaun King starter pack to pretend to be something that you're not. One comment and you get your very own Magnum ice cream to simply do whatever you want with it. Don't worry, no homo. See you later people.